Are we live? Are we 5 by 5? What's up, Teresa? How are you doing? I chose Beaver because of the coffee. Kelly or Rambo? One of y'all is guilty. Um, Filthy deplorables. Minuteman, yes, we are also very filthy deplorables, according to our politicians. Thank y'all for the 5 by 5s. Random JL, good afternoon. How are you doing? Showtime says A Troop Squirrely Radio. Um, did anybody watch Zombieland? I'm gonna ask that real quick because it was suggested by Kelly and or Rambo. I'm not sure which one of them suggested it. A couple of weeks ago, we voted on it. Zombieland lost, but barely. So I watched it again this week. Digna, how are you doing? For anybody that's brand new, we do this Monday through Friday at the top level, the War Daddy level. But even at the entry level on Patreon, Coffee Club, and the Bunker, if you're a member in any way, shape, or form, we do this every Friday. This is live. It better be ad free. Chewbacca, what are you doing, son? Bill freaking Murray. You daggone right. Um, yeah, we do this every Friday. All of the info is down below. It replays for free over on the Bunker, and I'll put a link to the Bunker in case somebody is catching this on the main channel. Make sure my ringer's off, son. And not over on the Bunker yet. It can get chaotic over here. I've not seen chaos. I've not seen double tap, but now I got to see it. Having going back and watching Tallahassee and them, I got to see it now. Um, I remember when Double Tap came out, but I never got around to going to the theater and watching it and all that stuff. So no spoilers because I want to see it. I'm not even sure what service it's on though. Um, Rules, yeah, it's got its own flavor, doesn't it, Forrest? Um, it's just the beginning and all throughout. Rule number blah blah blah. Always check the back seat. That kind of stuff. Somebody in chat this morning said Zombieland is a love story. It's a love story like Titanic or Dirty Dancing with zombies in the background. Oh man, Double Tap is not as good. They never are. Um, I wish I would have seen that comment. To be honest with you, I was looking really forward to it. I'll still watch it. Um, I'll still watch it, but now I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna be slanted and all that stuff. Uh, Overall, great movie if you haven't seen it. There's some inappropriate stuff in there for the folks that don't like inappropriate stuff. But I mean, come on. It's a zombie movie. You gotta expect that there's gonna be inappropriate stuff, right? Um, okay, Teresa said she liked Double Tap. It's still good, just not as good. Okay. Well, yeah, the first one it's a classic. And I seen, not to get off on the beaten path, but I seen, 30 days, what is it? 28 days later. And then they had a sequel. Now they're coming out with a third movie on that. And I haven't seen those in a while. I think that we have the first two here on DVD. I know we got the first one on DVD, but good lord, I don't know where they're at. I haven't seen those in years. They got the mask on the front, like with the red and black cover. But yeah, supposedly they're filming a third one. So I don't know, but I came away with, because I've seen The Walking Dead a lot and watched Zombieland. Of course, I've watched World War Z and stuff, and I came away with this thought. No, 28 weeks later wasn't as good. That's another fine example. But I came away with this thought. It'd be kind of fun if we had a zombie apocalypse. I know that's weird and that's probably demented, and people can be like, "Oh, you're dooming us. You're glooming and dooming." But the more I think about it, things would be easier to take care of, wouldn't they? As long as you could defend your home from zombies and marauders, you really ain't paying taxes. There's really no 9 to 5. None of that crap's going on. The world is your oyster. You can go to the local food line as long as you're strapped up and nobody else is in there taking what they want. You could go in there. I mean, it just There would be things about it that would suck. Yeah, the grid's gone probably at that point, there are things a lot of luxuries are gone, but man, on the flip side of the coin, things would be so much simpler. You wouldn't see this all the time in society, right? Because most of these people are already gone. Um, I don't know. It would just be fun, I think. At least for a little while. It'd probably get old after a while. Um, yeah, no, they did that on what was it? World War Z? I think it was World War Z where they sprinted. Might be another movie. I Am Legend, maybe. They sprinted too. But yeah, I would want the slow, lethargic Romero style zombies. Um, Maybe one day we'll log into Prepper Nation and have a feature called Zombie Kill of the Week. Man, I know this is random, but I've been hounding BattleBox to let me put together a box and theme it out, because they theme for camp and they theme for fishing, they theme for survival, they theme for different things, technology. And I said, look, let me put together a zombie survival box. I can get it under the price point, you know, big time. I could get it under there and put some really cool stuff in there. You know what I mean? Like a zombie themed Zippo lighter, stuff like this. Uh, but they never respond when I send those emails. They respond sometimes, but not to those. They just ain't hearing of it. A good machete, maybe a two-piece baseball bat that's indestructible that you can screw together once you pull it out of the box, something like that. Um, yeah, Teresa, they should let me do it. You know what I mean? Some zombie themed dog tags, stuff like this. I'd probably put a small radio in there. It's got the no on it, but have try and get one designed where you can turn it all the way, let's say to the right, and it's gonna play a pre-recorded zombie alert message or something. You know, just something cool, man. Something cool. But yeah, they won't let me do it. At least not yet. Another day made. There you go, Misty. That's a way to look at it. So, speaking of the zombie apocalypse, have y'all seen what's going on in Sweden right now? Anybody? Haven't seen Chud 2. Bud the Chud. I haven't seen it, Minute Man. I've not seen it. The name alone, though. I've been watching some B movie zombie movies, man, like Dead Snow, and there's one called The Outpost, the World War II themed, Nazi zombie themed or whatever. But well, yeah, I don't have their budget. That's the only problem. Mother of Cajuns. I would love to do it, but I don't have the multi-million-dollar budget that they got. They got a big operation in Midgeville, Georgia, I think is where they're based out of. And so yeah, I don't get invited to all the fancy stuff. Brandon, their official spokesperson, he goes around to all of the conventions and stuff and checks the survival gear out and tests it out before they put it in a box. But I mean, I could suggest some stuff. You know what I mean? I could make it and get it way down. It would be smaller stuff that they could ship and they could afford. Sweden, nothing, unfortunately. So Sweden is getting ready to enter the first stages of NATO membership. And Sweden's leadership, their government, they've come out and this is a direct quote from their government to their citizens. Brace for war. They know there's going to be retaliation from Russia and its allies. They're telling their citizens to literally brace for war. And this has led to panic shopping. You can go to X and pull up videos and stuff. There's panic shopping taking place right now in Sweden, and it looks like the beginning of Fear the Walking Dead, if y'all have ever seen that. Like, these people are going loco trying to get stuff, because, their own government is telling them, "We're getting ready to go to war here. Y'all might wanna get ready. We can't take care of you." When the government tells you it can't when it admits, "Hey, son, we can't take care of you," you're screwed at that point if you ain't been prepping. So, it got me thinking, what's going on, Waters family? How are you doing? It got me thinking. Um, yeah, man. What would that look like in the United States if our government came out and said, "Prepare for war, brace for war"? Yeah, it is actually. I'm surprised anybody knows what that is. That's one half of the Nuka Cola, the bootleg Nuka. I use one of those, different varieties and stuff, and then half of it's club soda. And it just works. Um, yeah, well, I know they want you to stock supplies, and that's, it is what it is, and they've got like contingency plans online for zombie apocalypse for everything. And you can go and you can get online and you can seek that information. But this is the government of Sweden coming on TV and all the social media saying brace for war. Like, can you imagine a special coming from the White House where Joe Biden's up there and he's like blah 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 and the drool's running and all this stuff, and Kamala Harris is standing behind him, cackling and doing whatever it is she does. I still haven't figured it out. And Joe Biden being able to put together a coherent sentence and saying, Americans, brace for war. Can you imagine the kind of panic you would see in this country? Because at that point, it's too late to prep. It's too late, you know. I mean, not just the toilet paper is gone at that point. Everything uh, on the shelves becomes a target for every normie, every zombie. People would go into panic mode. I mean, we're only a couple of events away all the time anyway, but our government lies to us to kind of calm the panic. But if your government came out and they didn't even lie to you anymore, they just said, "Hey, brace for war, it's coming." Imagine what your neighbors would be doing, what your coworkers would be doing. Um, Go shopping. You don't want them to know what you already have, right? That's fair advice there. Go shopping. You don't want people to know that, "Hey, I'm already set up. We don't need nothing from the store." Go and be a part of the panic, even if you don't need anything. Buy a few things, look petrified, especially in a small town. Small town people do this. How many people are from a small town? Uh, they do this, man. Everybody knows everybody's business. Um, I mean, they just do. I've ran into people before, and I'll get stopped. It's weird, man. All right, let me backtrack here for a second. So I'm literally in Mayberry. For anybody that doesn't happen to know that, I'm in Mayberry, the town that inspired Mayberry and Andy Griffith and all this stuff. So he's like a hero. He's like the Ronald Reagan of this town. And you're never going to be that guy, ever. He's like Michael Jordan. So when people do stop me here, it's usually, "Hey, man, you working on a book?" And I've never really talked to this person before. And I don't know how they know I write books, but people do this in small towns. And usually when I get stopped for the YouTube stuff, I'm an hour or two away. I'm like, "Yes, thank you. I do more than just write about zombies and stuff." Um, but I mean, just imagine the panic and the chaos and stuff. And getting back to his point for a second, you want people to think you're struggling, even if you're not struggling. Get in a line somewhere, buy $10 worth of panic items, and tell the cashier and tell the person behind you, "I don't know what we're gonna do. We have nothing." Maybe put that, you talking about some disinformation. There you go. Put some of that out and get that vibe going. Be sure you show up. If the Red Cross is there and they got a tent and they're handing out bottled water, you stand in line for it. And you just look like, now don't stand there in $2,000 worth of gear. You know what I'm saying? Stand there and look like a refugee and play the part. Hollywood's got to kick in at some point on that. Um, I'm from the government and you are all screwed. That's basically what they're telling the people of Sweden. To the point where the people of Sweden figured that out, and now they're like, "I'm not going to be screwed. I'm not going to be left without a chair." Uh, Misty knows what I'm talking about. Then small town, it blows your mind. You know what I mean? And you'll go through a checkout line at Food Line. Oh man, I hate to throw my wife under the bus, man, but I'm gonna throw her under the bus. She ain't ever gonna see this video. She's not a member. Where she works for the school system, everybody stops her. Like occasionally, twice a month, somebody may stop me over Prepper Nation or over a book or something, but usually not even, right? My wife is constantly getting stopped because she's worked for the school system a long time. The kids know her, they'll run up to her. The parents are like, "Oh, you work at the school," and then she just chats it up. So we can go through a food line or something, and where so many people know her, the cashiers are talking to my wife, you know, about about somebody else. Did you hear about such and such? And I'm just standing there like, who cares? I don't want to know anybody else's business. I don't want anybody else to know my business. What's happening right now? And I don't know if it's a thing with just women or what. Uh, but my wife is terrible about this. Um, I am people I don't know see me and say, "Oh, you must be Ronnie's daughter." There you go. And it's hard to explain that to people, like, if they're in Chicago or Los Angeles, because they may never see the same people twice, unless they go into a business and they work there or something. But we can pull up to a red light, and more times than not, we'll look over, we know that person's name, we know what road they live on, we know their parents, or we know of their parents or their family, like, there's a little backstory and they'll wave. It's crazy. Um, Be gray man, yeah. That's the point of this ramble. Be gray man. That's exactly right. Um, just don't back the bus up. That's too hard. So let me see here. Small town Neil, no one gets it as well. Um, okay, so this is interesting. Now, this here is what we call a primary source. So you don't have to drive to Sweden. Uh, outdoor watch Norway. Good lord, it's a mouthful. But keep your eyes and ears on the news if you don't mind, and keep us informed in chat because our mainstream media will lie to us and they will spin and spin and spin like a DJ or something. So I trust what you're telling us in chat a lot more than I trust an anchor on TV or some news that we're seeing here in the United States. So to me, that's a primary source. You're actually there. You're actually seeing what's going on in real time. And maybe it's not even as bad as mainstream media's made it out to be, but here in the United States, they don't want people to panic. So I don't know why mainstream media would put that on there. And then we could get into Poland. Poland's undergoing a coup right now, for anybody that doesn't know. I had someone from the other side of the state hand me my own business card once. I've never had that happen, Mom's Drosty, never. Uh, that was a new one on me. Florida man, how are you doing? Good afternoon. So, does anybody have suggestions for movies or TV shows that are free to all, that have a Roku that we can vote on this coming up week? And we'll pick a couple and lay them down for a vote. Dominion ain't welcome here. Now, some people do game the voting system. I'm looking at you, Kelly. I'm looking at you. I don't think it's Rambo on this. I think it's you. Kelly, I believe, is a member of Patreon, the Coffee Club, and the Bunker. So she essentially gets 3 votes. Every time we do a poll, she gets 3 votes instead of 1. And there's no way to stop it. You know what I'm saying? But Bushwick. Um Movie? I've never seen it. Random JL. Uh yeah. No, you're right. They're 2 different channels, and there's no way for me to offer, like, the membership on the main channel. Like, when you come over here, there's no way they won't recognize each other. It's a YouTube thing, unfortunately. It's nothing that I've set up over here. On Fridays, which today's Friday, right? Everybody, all the members on all of the platforms outside of people that just are randomly peeping in, we do this exclusive live stream. And then at the top level on all three, the War Daddy level, whether it's Patreon, Coffee Club, or the Bunker, we actually do this 5 days a week. Usually, sometimes we have to miss a day, but usually we do it 5 days a week. Um, Guilty as charged. You too, huh? Y'all trying to throw the vote, man. Come on. I don't if it's free, I mean, we can put it on there. Um, man, how many people out there have not seen Beastmaster? Somebody yesterday called it a Conan ripoff. And I can kinda see it because it did come out after I think it came out after the original Conan, but Beastmaster's got its own flavor. And it's got, Tanya Roberts too. Um, I think was her name. Oh god. As a kid, I'm just saying. No, it's not on you, random JL. If I could if I could offer one and it would hit all 3 platforms, I would do it in a heartbeat, but there's no way for me to do it. YouTube separates the channels. They keep everything separate, and then Patreon's totally separate from YouTube. So I try to when we're having a live like this, I'll put out the link on all 3. Um, but what I'm saying is with the poll, when I put that poll on all 3, some of them, again, Dynamite, Kelly, maybe a few others, they're subscribed to all 3, so they are actually voting 3 times and rigging the system, bunch of Democrats. Uh, oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. If somebody had a gun on me, I would pick Beastmaster, but I really like Conan too. But I think Mark Singer played a better role than Arnold. I'll go ahead and say it. I mean, it could have been. They all. It's like the whole theme of barbarians and stuff seemed to hit all at one time. Um, no, it wasn't forced, but Beastmaster, I don't know. I just had it on VHS and I about wore that VHS out as a kid. Um, and it used to come on TV all of the stinking time too. And every time it was on, I was sitting there watching it, you know. Uh, I used to be a fan of his in the 80s, him and Stallone. Over the years, and it's not even the fact that he's a liberal as much as it is when I go back and I look at the older movies, Sly Stallone tears him up in terms of acting. I mean, he's such I like, for example, I like Predator and I like Commando with Stallone, but then I go over to First Blood. Uh, I'm sorry, Schwarzenegger, but then I go over to First Blood with Stallone. First Blood, I love that movie so much, man. It's so underrated. I just think Sly is a better actor, and I prefer the most of the movies that he was in as opposed to Schwarzenegger. How you doing, ABC Patriot? How you doing? Well, pretty quiet here. They speak more about Trump than anything else. The Orange Man Evil, Orange, right? Orange Man Evil. It's amazing to me how that can be one of the top stories in the world right now. With everything else that's going on, people are still talking about Donald Trump the way they are all over the world. Um, yeah, Cobra, I'll give you that. Cobra was a little campy. But I'll give Sly credit because he was picking up early in his career, he was picking up a lot of the scripts, the manuscripts and stuff, or the screenplays that had been floating around for like a decade that nobody wanted. And he was trying to do the best he could with all those. I think they said, which he wrote Rocky, but I think First Blood have been floating around and offered to so many different people, and they're like, "No, no, no, no." He's like, "I'll play it." And again, First Blood is my by far my favorite Rambo movie. I wish they would have stuck with that kind of theme, the vet comes home, the police mistreatment, and all of that stuff, and they kinda got crazy with it, I guess, to sell movie tickets or whatever. I've got a couple of the Rambos, but I have First Blood on Blu-ray. That's also a good one. It's underrated. I still prefer First Blood over that. For me, I like Expendables 1, but First Blood or Rocky 4. I don't know what I pick on that. I really don't. Speaking of, uh, no, no, not in this day and time, not in Hollywood. Do y'all think the message of the end of Rocky 4 will ever be shared again? Nah. The message of unity and coming together and, you know, I mean, that's such a good movie, but really the themes to me were patriotism for the United States, and then, Drago had, patriotism for the USSR, and they're the 2 biggest dogs in the yard, they're gonna fight. They basically fight it out to a draw, and then you get that speech saying, "Can I love the United States? Can't you love the USSR? And can't we coexist and get along?" I don't think you're gonna get that anymore because of the patriotism that's attached to it. Yeah, man. That's all he wanted. No, come on, Forrest. All Rambo wanted was something to eat, right, and to be left alone. You know what I'm saying? Like, just leave me alone. Why are you arresting me, son? First Blood is a Christmas movie. Come on, man. The worst part is I'm probably gonna later on this evening or tomorrow now, Forrest, I'm gonna be sitting back saying, "Was it Christmas time? Am I gonna have to go back and watch this movie and see if there's a Christmas theme in the background somewhere?" I think so too, Tony. I think it's sailed away. First Blood was an honest view into what some vets experienced and how they felt. Yeah, it was a really good movie. Of course, I like the action part of it, and the general has to fly in and stuff like this because the police can't control him, man. The manhunts aren't working. The freaking knife that he used in the first one kind of started a trend for a while, but really, it's a story about veterans coming home and being misunderstood and maybe not having a place when they got home to fit in with society and stuff. It's just a great movie. All right, so what you wanna do, I'm gonna assume that this is Kelly because you're literally married to Rambo. I know Rambo has seen this stuff, okay? So, Kelly, immediately you're gonna you're gonna get off of here when we shut her down, and you're gonna look for First Blood somewhere. It's probably free on some platform, and you gotta watch it. You just gotta watch it. Um, Gremlins was awful and caused nightmares for years. It kind of got dark there when the girls it it killed the vibe. Like, the whole movie's a classic, but then this girl goes into a spiel about her dad dying coming down the chimney, and I'm just like, "Man, this has no place in this movie. None." Troutman, yeah, Troutman. In Troutman's own words, "If you bring the blue helmets here, you better have a big supply of body bags, because there are a few Rambos out there. You've got homework to do." It is an excellent, excellent movie. Rambo read the Rambo books before the movie. Okay, now I feel ashamed because I didn't know there were books. I didn't know there were Rambo books. I thought it was just screenplays made into movies. Oh, man, I feel like a failure now. Yeah, it was one of those scenes where you wanna laugh, but then you feel like a crap person. The rest of it was a classic. My favorite from Gremlins is probably, I haven't seen it in a while. It's probably where they were Christmas caroling, the The mean ones, whatever they're called, Stripe and them. They were Christmas caroling. That old lady about had a heart attack, and they rewired her chair and stuff. And the, was the professor on the first one or the second one? The one that was really brainy, I don't remember. He was pretty funny too, and the Flasher. There were books, yeah, apparently. That's what I'm saying, you know? They've come for me. Oh, no, she gets in that chair. It looks like NASA blowing off. Well, it was one of them. I thought you said the Ultimate Prepper movie. It was one of them. The original Red Dawn's gotta be up there too. Um, I'd be hard pressed. I would probably pick the original Red Dawn, but man, it would be so daggone close on those 2. Alright, y'all. I think I finally caught up to the front here. Yeah, when the gremlin gets microwaved, that's just nasty, Redfish. That scene in itself is just nasty. Um, I w Is it the high school teacher or whatever that's trying to feed the one, and the freaking gremlin goes, "Yum, yum." I don't know which one it was. I don't know if I can't remember if it's Stripe or what. Um, how you doing? Welcome to chat. We are getting ready to close down though, but welcome to chat. My dad managed a Montgomery Wards and they got every piece of junk from that movie. It was big for a while. I think they even had the smaller records at one of the restaurants, maybe Pizza Hut. I don't remember. It's been a long time, but I think Pizza Hut was the ones that had the records that had like the story on it or whatever. Maybe it came with a book. I don't know. It's been so daggone long. That was back in the fast food restaurants gave out glass collectible glasses. Back then, it was so long ago. That was a Ward store that they filmed it in. See, I never knew that. I remember the ending where he's riding around in a car and stuff, but I didn't know it was awards. Yeah, when they are drunk in the bar and blues are playing, they were being beaverines at that point, you know what I mean? The girl wasn't pouring drinks fast enough, and they're throwing shot glasses at her. Go faster. Stripe was like Gizmo, I never really got into Gizmo. Stripe was what's up. And I didn't really have the toys and stuff, but come on, man, it's Stripe. They took it from Jim Henson like stuff to, oh, this is really cool. But opinions vary. I did like Gentle Gizmo and Gremlins. Nah. If you like Gizmo, if y'all are out there and you like Gizmo over Stripe, you got to be a cat person. I'm thinking most dog people would be like, "Nah, Stripes, what's up?" I don't know. I don't know why that came to my mind there, but um, oh boy, you must have got a hold of some of that stuff that Backwoods smokes. Random JL. Does anyone remember the movie with a huge house, like white rabbits terrorizing the town, or was that a dream? I've never seen it that I'm aware of, and I've never had that dream. But well, maybe I'm wrong, Tony. You're a dog person. Chihuahua or Shih Tzu or something like that, maybe. Okay. Stripe was evil. Cats are evil. Dogs are awesome. Um, yeah, the Dark Crystal. I'll leave y'all with a couple. All right. Not that we're gonna be voting or triple voting Kelly and Dynamite, but the Dark Crystal and also is it Cole or Krull? I think it's Krull. Yeah, I think it's Krull from the 80s. Man, you talking about a campy fantasy movie that's pretty cool if you haven't seen it. Those 2, are worth checking out just for the nostalgia of it. And of course, Beastmaster. Oh, you were a child. Yeah, I don't know. Random JO. I never seen it in my life. Maybe it was just a dream. Then again, maybe not. Night of the Lepus. I've never seen that. Yes, Kroll. Yes. That's what's up, right? So if y'all haven't seen that, go watch it, man. That thing's gotta be free. That thing's like 150 years old. It seems like. I mean, I was just a little boy, but, The Princess Bride is good too, Ed. Thank y'all very much, for hanging out throughout the duration. I don't wanna bore you too much because we got a video dropping tonight. Just saying. Y'all take care and God bless.